Hey guys, your boy Brandon Live. Today we're on to why ACHD mind can hard focus for 6 hours but can't start the dishes. Not gonna lie, I wanna know the truth, bro.
Just do it. It's not hard. Stop being lazy. You heard some version of that 1,000 times. And the worst part, you started to believe it. Because how do you explain 6 hours of work you fell into without trying no food, no clock, no effort when you can't wash a single plate?
Yeah, that makes no
You
sense.
called it laziness because that was the only word you had. There's a better word, and it has nothing to do with willpower. Think about it. If this were willpower, the small task would be the easy one. The plate, not the 6-hour project. It's backwards. So, willpower was never the problem. Fuel was. Most brains come with two pedals. Importance do it because it matters. And consequence do it or you're in trouble. Press either one, and a normal brain moves. You have both pedals too. You can stamp on them all day. Nothing happens. They were never wired to your engine, and the same wiring explains the 6 hours at the desk. A psychiatrist named William Dodson spent years treating people with this kind of brain.
We
The
found out.
same story, over and over. Smart people, trying hard, stuck anyway. So he stopped asking why they couldn't focus. He asked the opposite what their attention did switch on for. The answer was four things: interest, challenge, novelty, urgency. Not importance. Not
So literally anything that has to do with important, they can't do it. Now that's some crazy work.
you should. Four very specific keys. If a task has one of those keys, the engine roars. If it has none, the engine sits dead no matter how badly you want to move it. The dishes have none of the four. That's it. That's the whole mystery. The plate isn't hard. To this engine, it's invisible. There's a reason for that. And it comes down to one chemical: dopamine. You've heard it called the pleasure chemical. It isn't. Pleasure is a different system entirely. Dopamine is about wanting the pull that makes you get up and go. A typical brain feels that pull for a boring task. Small, but enough. Enough to start.
Like, doesn't it? I thought people say that dopamine, if you like injury or heart, people don't feel shit at all because their dopamine is up there high, bro.
Your brain barely makes that pull for anything dull. No pull, no start. So you stand at the plate, fully willing, and your hand just won't move. It's not that you won't start. The pull to start never came. There's a name for that feeling: the wall of awful. The task is 5 minutes. You can see exactly how to finish it. And you watch yourself not move, like there's glass between you and the plate. And in that silence, a thought arrives. The dangerous one. Maybe something is wrong with me. It feels like proof. It's a lie. The wall isn't a flaw in you. It's a pull that never arrived. And once you see that missing pull, you start to recognize it everywhere. The shelf of half-finished projects, each one abandoned the exact second it stopped being new. I'll do it in a minute. The minute that quietly becomes never. The text you don't answer for 4 days, not because you don't care, because opening it has no key. Running late again, building the excuse in the car, because I lost track of time, sounds worse than a flat tire. 3 o'clock hits, and your brain just powers down. You look up from one small thing, and 3 hours are gone. You don't know where. They didn't feel like 3 hours. None of that is a character. It's the same missing pull, over and over. Now, flip it around. Because the same engine has a second face. When a task does have one of the four keys, this brain doesn't just focus, it locks. 6 hours. No hunger, no clock. The rest of the world goes quiet. There are two times for this brain: now and not now. The deadline in 3 weeks lives in not now. So does the heat death of the universe. Same folder. That's not a joke about laziness. A researcher named Russell Barkley found this brain genuinely struggles to feel future time. A deadline far away isn't scary, because the brain can't picture it as real. It's a rumor. Then it becomes today. Suddenly it's urgent, and urgency is one of the four keys. The engine floods. You do a week of work in one night. Everyone calls that leaving it to the last minute. It wasn't a choice. The pull to start only arrived when the task finally got close enough to feel real. A brain that ignores important and only fires for urgent sounds broken.
Nah, this might feel horrible, right? To people that has this, right? Because they have to have somebody else with them just to get help. Cause imagine feeling that, bro. You know something important is coming up, right? But your brain doesn't even allow you to do it until it gets super close. You out of nowhere. You automatically miss it, or you just make it just in time, bro. It's crazy.
It would flunk every classroom on Earth. It also might have been the most useful person in the tribe. Not because it focused, because it couldn't. The brain that wouldn't settle was the one still scanning when everyone else had gone calm. So when the calm was wrong, a sound that didn't fit, a shape that shouldn't move, it was already awake. We can't prove what an ancient brain did. Nobody was measuring. But scientists who study this have a name for the idea, that these traits stuck around because, in the right world, they paid off. If restlessness were purely a flaw, evolution had 200,000 years to delete it. It didn't. The version that survives a crisis is rarely the one that plans the calmest week. This brain runs hot, jumps fast, and floods when the stakes turn real and immediate. Useless for a spreadsheet, the whole point in an emergency. The trait the desk punishes is the trait a dangerous world rewarded. Hyperfocus isn't a bonus feature. It's the whole point of the engine. The dishes are just the cost of running it in a world with no emergencies left. That same engine has a darker side. Hyperfocus has no steering wheel. The same lock that gives you 6 brilliant hours can clamp onto the wrong thing just as hard. A worry at 3 a.m., a game, an endless scroll. You can't pull out. The engine doesn't ask whether the thing is good for you. It only asks if it has a key. So you live between two extremes. Can't start what matters, can't stop what doesn't. And for years, you graded yourself on that. Lazy, broken, inconsistent. Now look at who decided you were broken. A room, a chair, a clock on the wall. The whole...
Yeah. I want to know, have everyone ever felt like this, bro? Or had this problem? If so, I also want to helping you out with this, bro.
test was one question: can you sit still and run on you should? One kind of engine aces that test. Yours was never built to take it and got graded on it anyway, every day, for years. You didn't fail. You were measured with the wrong stick, then handed the bill for the shame. The shame was real. The reason for it never was. So, go back to the sink. 3 days of dishes. 2 feet from the desk where you lose yourself for hours. Nothing about that gap means you're broken. It means the plate has no key and the desk has 4. You can't install willpower. But you can hand the engine a key. Pick the smallest dead task you've been avoiding. Don't tell yourself it's important that pedal isn't connected. Add a key instead. Set a timer for 10 minutes and race it. That's urgency. Put on something you've never heard. That's not.
That's actually a good idea. Having this thing of being trick your brain into making something you need to do. That works out perfectly, bro.
Novelty. Make the boring thing borrow a key from one of the 4. Then watch the same brain that froze start to move. Stopping is the other half. When the lock grabs the wrong thing, the scroll, the 3am worry willpower won't break it. And once you're in the trance, you won't remember to break it either. The version of you that's locked in is not the version who'll decide to stop. So, the break can't come from inside the moment. It has to be set before you ever get sucked in. Or by someone who can't forget a timer that doesn't just beep, but cuts the Wi-Fi. An alarm that won't stop until you stand up. A person who knocks at the hour you agreed on. You're not fixing the trance from inside it. You're building the wall before you fall in. You were never lazy. You were running an engine the world forgot to build a road for. Now that you know your brain...
Can I just yell at them? I was like, hey!
runs on fuel and not willpower, you might also want to watch this next video on what if people with ADHD ran the modern world.
Not gonna lie, it'll be way different. Actually, it'll be somewhat the same, but it'll be more like a little bit different though. If you think about it. Yeah, like and subscribe, and peace.